Hey there. Today, we're diving into a kind of influence that you don't always see, but you definitely feel. It's the psychology of quiet power. We're about to find out why, sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is say absolutely nothing at all. Okay, so first things first, we have to tackle this huge common assumption, this myth that you see everywhere, from boardrooms to family dinners. It's the idea that the loudest person in the room is the one calling the shots. But is that really true?
Just think about it for a second. We're kind of taught to believe that volume equals control, right? But so often, the person who isn't talking, the one who's just watching, observing everything, they hold a much more powerful kind of authority. Let's break down exactly how that works.
To really get what's going on here, we have to define what we're even talking about when we say quiet power. And just to be clear, this has nothing to do with being shy or passive. Not at all. It's an active, very strategic choice.
See, quiet power isn't just the absence of words. It's the presence of something way deeper. It's built on a really strong internal foundation, on being a sharp observer, and on using silence as a deliberate tool.
Let's put these two side by side. On one hand, you have loud power. It's always seeking attention, right? It has to fill every single second of silence, and it desperately needs validation to feel like it's in control. Quiet power, it's the total opposite. It doesn't seek attention, it commands it. It's comfortable holding its space, and most importantly, it's self-possessed. It just doesn't need your approval.
So let's get into the first big psychological mechanism behind this. And that's how silence can act as, well, as a kind of mirror.
Here's how it works. Let's say you're in a salary negotiation. You state the number you want, and then you just stop talking. You hold that silence. What happens? Well, it creates this vacuum. And honestly, most people are incredibly uncomfortable with that. They feel this overwhelming need to fill it. So they might rush to justify their offer, revealing things about their budget or how flexible they can be, things you never would have known otherwise. In their hurry to talk, they end up revealing their true cards, all because you didn't jump in to fill the silence.
But here's the key. Using silence like this isn't just a clever trick. It has to come from a much deeper place. It comes from the power of internal stability. And this right here, this is the absolute core of it all. When you genuinely don't need anything from the person across the table, not their approval, not their agreement, not even their attention, you are operating from a place of incredible strength. This internal stability, it leads to all these other powerful traits. You become highly observant because you're actually listening instead of planning what you're going to say next. You're calm, you're self-possessed, you feel secure in yourself, which frees you from that need to perform for everyone. This is the bedrock where quiet power grows.
So when you combine that strategic use of silence with that rock-solid core of internal stability, it becomes one of the most effective, most powerful weapons you have.
This quote just nails the whole idea, doesn't it? The quietest person often gets the most respect because their power isn't in what they say, it's in what they choose not to say. It's about restraint. It's the wisdom of knowing when to speak, and maybe even more importantly, when to just listen.
So we'll leave you with this question. Now that you know the secret, how are you going to use it? And your next meeting, your next negotiation, that next difficult conversation, how will you use the power of silence? What might you learn just by choosing not to speak? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.